Antony and Cleopatra by William Shakespeare, adapted by Taylor Phillips. Playing Mark Antony.
Kevin Bain.
Playing Cleopatra.
Aurora Dreger.
Playing Octavius Caesar, second messenger.
David Mackler.
Playing
ENOBARBUS.
an Egyptian. Bernie.
Here we go.
What happened to Bernie?
Great start.
He's muted.
Oh,
There he is.
Bernie, did you leave?
No, I lost my connection for a second. I switched over to my Wi-Fi extender.
Oh, okay, because then it takes you out of order, and I gotta... All right, so playing ENOBARBUS and Egyptian.
Bernie Bosio.
Playing CHARMIAN.
And the servant.
And the servant. Playing Pompey, first messenger, and guardsman, and messenger.
Marty Goldberg.
Playing MENAS and Alexis.
Christopher Young.
Playing MENAS, DERCETUS, countryman, and the messenger.
Michael Janove.
Playing Lepidus, SCARUS, SENTRY, and the messenger.
Tyler Bogen.
Playing EROS, THIDIAS, PROCULEIUS, Soothsayer, and messenger.
Shelia Spencer.
Playing IRAS, Octavia, Canedius, ambassador, and messenger. Liz.
Liz Bove.
Yes. Act 1, Scene 1. Alexandria, a room in Cleopatra's palace. Enter DERCETUS, a soldier of Antony's, with other Roman soldiers.
Nay, but this dotage of our generals overflows the measure. His captain's heart, which in the scruffles of great fights has burst the buckets on his breast, reneges all temper and is become the bellows and the fan that cool a gypsy's lusts.
Flourish. Enter Antony, Cleopatra, her ladies and her train, with eunuchs fanning her.
Look where they come. Take but good note, and you shall see in him the triple pillar of the world transformed in the strumpet's fool. Behold and see.
If it be love indeed, tell me how much.
There's beggary in the love that can be reckoned.
I'll set a bourne how far to be beloved.
Then must thou needs find out new heaven, new earth.
Enter messenger.
News, my good lord, from Rome.
Grates me the sum.
Nay, hear them, Antony. Fulvia perchance is angry. Or who knows, the scarce-spirited Caesar had not sent his powerful mandate to you. Do this or this, take that kingdom and enfranchise that. Performed, or else we damn thee.
How, my love?
You must not stay here longer. Your dismission has come from Caesar, therefore hear it, Antony. Where's Fulvia's process? Caesar's, I would say, both? Call in the messengers, as I am Egypt's queen. Oh, thou blushest, Antony, and that blood of thine is Caesar's homager, else so thy cheek pays shame when shrill-tongued Fulvia scolds. The messengers.
Let Rome in, Tiber melt, and the wide arch of the ranged empire fall. Here is my space. Kingdoms are clay. Our dungy earth alike feeds beast as man. The nobleness of life is to do thus.
He embraces her.
When such a mutual pair and such a twain can do it, in which I bind, or pain of punishment, the world to weet, we stand up peerless.
Excellent falsehood. Why did he marry Fulvia and not love her? I'll seem the fool I am not. Antony will be himself.
But stirred by Cleopatra. Now for the love of love and the soft hours, let's not confound the time with conference harsh. There's not a minute of our lives should stretch without some pleasure now. What sport tonight?
Here are the ambassadors.
Fie, wrangling queen, whom everything becomes to chide, to laugh, to weep, whose every passion fully strives to make itself in thee fair and admired. No messenger but thine, and all alone, tonight will wander through the streets and note the qualities of people. Come, my queen, last night you did desire it. Speak not to us.
Exit Antony and Cleopatra.
Is Caesar with Antonius' prize so slight? See, he is not Antony. I am sorry that he approves the common liar who thus speaks of him at Rome. But I will hope of better deeds tomorrow. Rest you happy.
Exeunt. Scene 2, the same. Another room. Enter ENOBARBUS, a soothsayer, CHARMIAN, IRAS, Alexis, and servants.
Lord Alexis, sweet Alexis, where's the soothsayer that you praise so to the queen? Oh, that I knew this husband which you say must charge his horns with garlands.
Soothsayer,
Your will.
show him your hand.
Good sir, give me good fortune.
I make not, but foresee.
Pray then, foresee me one.
You shall be yet far fairer than you are.
Wrinkles forbid.
You shall be more beloving than beloved.
I'd rather heat my liver with drinking.
Nay, hear him.
Oh, good now, some excellent fortune. Let me be married to 3 kings in a forenoon and widow them all. Let me have a child at 50 to whom Herod of Jewry may do homage. Find me to marry with Octavius Caesar and companion me with my mistress.
You shall outlive the lady whom you serve.
Oh, excellent. I love long life better than figs.
You have seen and proved a fairer former fortune than that which is to approach.
Then belike my children shall have no names. Prithee, how many boys and wenches must I have?
If every of your wishes had a womb and fertile every wish, 1,000,000.
Out, fool!
You think none but your sheets are privy to your wishes.
Nay, come, tell Iris hers.
There's a palm presages chastity, if nothing else.
Oh, even as the overflowing Nilus presages famine.
Go, you wild bedfellow, you cannot soothsay.
Your fortunes are alike.
Am I not an inch of fortune better than she?
Well, if you were but an inch of fortune better than I, where would you choose it?
Not in my husband's nose.
Oh, our worser thoughts heaven mend. Alexis, come, his fortune, his fortune. Oh, let him marry a woman that cannot go. Sweet Isis, I beseech thee, and let her die too, and give him a worse, and let worse follow worse, till the worst of all follow him laughing to his grave, 50-fold a cuckold. Oh, good Isis, hear me this prayer, I beseech thee.
Amen, dear goddess, hear that prayer of the people. For as it is a heartbreaking to see a handsome man loose-wived, so it is a deadly sorrow to behold a foul knave uncuckolded. Therefore, dear Isis, keep decorum and fortune him accordingly.
Amen.
Lo now, if it lay in their hands to make me a cuckold, they would make themselves whores, but they'd do it.
Hush, here comes Antony.
Not he, the queen.
Enter Cleopatra.
Saw you, my lord?
No, lady.
Was he not here? No, madam. He was disposed to mirth, but on the sudden a Roman thought had struck him. ENOBARBUS,
Madam.
seek him and bring him hither. Where's Alexis?
Here, at your service, my lord approaches.
Enter Antony with first messenger.
We will not look upon him. Go with us.
Exeunt all but Antony and first messenger.
Fulvia, thy wife, first came into the field.
Against my brother Lucius?
Aye. But soon that war had end, and the time state made friends of them, jointing their force against Caesar, whose better issue in the war from Italy upon the first encounter drave them.
Well, what worst?
Still news. MENAS and his Parthian force extended Asia. From Euphrates, his conquering banner shook from Syria to Lydia and to Ionia, whilst...
Antony, thou wouldst say...
Oh, my lord.
Speak to me home, mince not the general tongue. Name Cleopatra as she is called in Rome. Rail thou in Fulvia's phrase, and taunt my faults with such full license as both truth and malice have power to utter. Oh, then we bring forth weeds when our quick wines lie still, and our ills told us is as our earring. Fare thee well a while.
At your noble pleasure.
Exit first messenger.
These strong Egyptian fetters I must break, or lose myself in dotage.
Enter second messenger with a letter.
What are you?
Fulvia, thy wife, is dead.
Where died she?
In Sicyon. Her length of sickness, with what else more serious importeth thee to know, this bears.
He hands Antony the letter.
Forbear me.
Exit second messenger.
There's a great spirit gone. Thus did I desire it. What our contempt doth often hurl from us, we wish it ours again. The present pleasure, by revolution lowering, does become the opposite of itself. She's good, being gone. The hand could pluck her back that shoved her on. I must from this enchanting queen break off. 10,000 harms more than the ills I know my idleness doth hatch.
Re-enter ENOBARBUS.
How now, ENOBARBUS?
What's your pleasure, sir?
I must with haste from hence.
Why then, we kill all our women. We see how mortal and unkindness is to them. If they suffer our departure, that's the word.
I must be gone.
Under a compelling occasion, let women die. If 'twere pity to cast them away for nothing, though between them and a great cause, they should be esteemed nothing. Cleopatra, catching but the least noise of this, dies instantly. I have seen her die 20 times upon far poorer moment. She hath such a celerity in dying.
Would I never have seen her?
Oh, sir, you had left then unseen a wonderful piece of work, which not to have been blessed withal would have discredited your travel.
Fulvia is dead.
Sir?
Fulvia is dead.
Fulvia?
Dead.
Why, sir, give the gods a thankful sacrifice. When it pleaseth their deities to take the wife of a man from him, it shows man killers the earth come therein, that when old robes are worn out, there are members new. If there were no more woman before you, then had you indeed a cut, and the case to be lamented. This grief is crowned with consolation. Your old smock brings forth a new petticoat.
The business she hath broached in the state cannot endure my absence.
And the business you have broached here cannot be without you, especially that of Cleopatra's, which wholly depends on your abode.
No more light answers. Let our officers have notice of what we purpose. I shall break the cause of our expedience to the queen and get her leave to part. For not alone the death of Fulvia, with more urgent touches, do strongly speak to us, but the letters too of many our contriving friends in Rome petition us at home. Sextus Pompey hath given the dare to Caesar and commands the empire of the sea. Our slippery people, whose love is never linked to the deserver, till his deserts are past, begins to throw Pompey the Great and all his dignities upon his son, who, high in name and power, higher than both in blood and life, stands up for the main soldier, whose quality, going on, the size of the world made danger. Much is breeding, which, like the corse's hair, hath yet but life, and not a serpent's poison. Say our pleasure to such whose place is under us, requires our quick remove from hence.
I shall do it.
Exeunt. Scene 3. The same. Another room. Enter Cleopatra and Charmian.
Where is he?
I did not see him since.
See where he is, who's with him, what he does. I did not send you. If you find him sad, say I'm dancing. If in mirth, report that I am sudden sick. Quick, and return.
Madam, methinks if you did love him dearly, you do not hold the method to enforce the like from him.
What should I do not?
In each thing, give him way, cross him in nothing.
Ugh, thou teachest like a fool the way to lose him.
Attempt him not so too far. I wish forbear. In time we hate that which we often fear.
Enter Antony.
But here comes Antony.
Oh, I am sick and sullen.
I am sorry to give breathing to my purpose.
I know by the same eye there's some good news. What says the married woman? You may go. Would she had never given you leave to come? Let her not say 'tis that I keep you here. I have no power upon you. Hers you are.
The gods know best.
Oh, never was there queen so mightily betrayed. Yet at the first I saw the treasons planted.
Cleopatra.
Why should I think you can be mine and true, though you in swearing shake the throned gods who have been false to Fulvia? Righteous madness to be entangled with those mouth-made vows, which break themselves in swearing.
Most sweet queen.
Nay, pray you seek no color for your going, but bid farewell and go. When you sued staying, then was the time for words. No going then. Eternity was in our lips and eyes, bliss in our brows bent, none our parts so poor, but was a race of heaven. Still, they are still so, or though the greatest soldier in the world art turned to the greatest liar.
Hear me, queen. The strong necessity of time commands our services a while, but my full heart remains in use with you. Our Italy shines over the civil swords. Sextus Pompey makes his approaches to the port of Rome. Equality of two domestic powers breeds scrumptious faction, the hated grown to strength and newly grown to love. The condemned Pompey, rich in his father's honor, creeps apace into the hearts of such as have not thrived upon the present state, whose numbers threaten, and quietness, grown sick of rest, would purge by any desperate change. My more peculiar, at that which most with you should be safe my going, is Fulvia's death.
Can Fulvia die?
She's dead, my queen.
Oh, most false love, where be the sacred vials thou shouldst fill with sorrowful water? Now I see in Fulvia's death how mine received shall be.
Quarrel no more, but be prepared to know the purposes I bear, which are or cease as you shall give the advice. By the fire that quickens Nihilus' slime, I go from hence, thy soldier, servant, making peace or war as thou affects. My precious queen, forbear, and give true evidence to his love, which stands an honorable trial.
So Fulvia told me. I prithee turn aside and weep for her. Then bid adieu to me and say the tears belong to Egypt. Good now, play one scene of excellent dissembling and let it look like perfect honor.
You'll heat my blood no more.
You can do better yet, but this is meetly.
Now by my sword.
And target, still he mends, but this is not the best.
I'll leave you, lady.
Courteous lord, one word. Sir, you and I must part, but that's not it. Sir, you and I have loved, but there's not it. That you know well, something it is I would. Oh, my oblivion is very, and I am all forgotten.
But that your royalty holds idleness your subject, I should take you for idleness itself.
His sweating labor to bear such idleness so near the heart. Is Cleopatra this? But sir, forgive me, since my becomings kill me when they do not eye well to you. Your honor calls you hence, therefore be deaf to my unpitied folly. All the gods go with you. Upon your sword sit laurel victory and smooth success be strewed before your feet.
Let us go. Come, our separation so abides and flies that thou, residing here, goes yet with me, and I, hence fleeting, here remain with thee.
Exeunt. Scene 4, Rome. Octavius Caesar's house. Enter Octavius Caesar, reading a letter. Lepidus and their train.
You may see, Lepidus, and henceforth know it is not Caesar's natural vice to hate our great competitor. From Alexandria, this is the news. He fishes, drinks, and wastes the lamps of night in revel, is not more manlike than Cleopatra, nor the queen of Ptolemy more womanly than he. Hardly gave audience, or vouchsafed to think he had partners. You shall find there a man who is the abstract of all faults that all men follow.
Lepidus. Tyler.
I must not think there are evils enough to darken all his goodness.
Ah, you are too indulgent. Let's grant it is not amiss to tumble on the bed of Ptolemy, to give a kingdom for a mirth, to sit and keep the turn of tippling with a slave, to reel the streets at noon and stand the buffet with knaves that smells of sweat. Say this becomes him, as his composure must be rare indeed, whom these things cannot blemish. Yet must Antony no way excuse his foils when we do bear so great weight in his likeness. If he filled his vacancy with his voluptuousness, full surfeits and the dryness of his bones call on him for it. But to confound such time that drums him from his sport and speaks as loud as his own state and ours, 'tis to be chid as we rate boys who, being mature in knowledge, pawn their experience to their present pleasure, and so rebel to judgment.
Here's some news.
Thy biddings have been done, and every hour, most noble Caesar, shalt thou have report how 'tis abroad. Pompey is strong at sea, and it appears he is beloved of those that only have feared Caesar. To the ports the discontents repair, and men's reports give him much wronged.
I should have known no less. It hath been taught us from the primal state that he which was wished until he were, and the ebbed man, ne'er loved till ne'er worth love, comes feared by being lacked.
Caesar, I bring more news. Menacratus and Menas, famous pirates, makes the sea serve them, and flush youth revolt. No vessel can peep forth, but 'tis as soon taken as seen. For Pompey's name strikes more than could his war resisted.
Antony, leave thy lascivious wassels. Let his shames drive him to Rome. 'Tis time we twain did show ourselves in the field, and to that end assemble we immediate council. Pompey thrives in our idleness.
Tomorrow, Caesar, I shall be furnished to inform you rightly, both what by sea and land I can be able to front this present time.
Till which encounter, It is my business too. Farewell.
Exeunt. Scene 5. Alexandra, Cleopatra's palace. Enter Cleopatra and Charmian.
CHARMIAN, give me to drink mandragora, that I might sleep out this great gap of time my Antony is away.
You think of him too much.
Oh, 'tis treason.
And madam, I trust not so.
CHARMIAN, where thinkst thou he is now? Stands he or sits he? Or does he walk? Or is he on his horse? Oh, happy horse to bear the weight of Antony. Do bravely, horse, or worse thou whom thou movest, the demi-atlas of this world, the arm, the burgeonet of man. He's speaking now, or murmuring, where's my serpent of old Nile? For so he calls me. Now I feed myself with most delicious poison. Think on me that I am Phoebus's amorous pinches black and wrinkled deep in time. Caesar, when thou was here above the ground, I was a morsel for a monarch. The great Pompey would stand and make his eyes grow in my brow. There would he anchor his aspect and die with looking on his life.
Enter Alexis from Antony.
Sovereign of Egypt, hail.
Much unlike art thou, Mark Antony. Yet coming from him, and great medicine hath with his pink gilded thee. How goes it with my brave Mark Antony?
Last thing he did, dear queen.
He pulls out a gift.
He kissed. The last of many double kisses. This orient pearl. Good friend, quoth he. Say the firm Roman to the Egypt sends this treasure of an oyster, at whose foot to mend the pretty present. I will piece her opulent throne with kingdoms. All the East say thou shall carry her mistress. So he nodded, and soberly did mount an armed gaunt steed.
What, was he sad or merry?
Like to the time of the year between the extremes of hot and cold, he was nor sad nor merry.
Oh, well-divided disposition. Note him, note. He was not sad, for he would shine on those that make their looks by his. He was not merry, which seemed to tell them his remembrance lay in Egypt with his joy. But between both, oh, heavenly mingle! Be'st thou sad or merry, the violence of either thee becomes, so does it not man's else. Be'st thou my posts?
Aye, madam, 20 several messengers. Why do you send so thick?
Who's born that day when I forget to send to Antony shall die a beggar. Ink and paper, Charmian. Welcome, my good Alexis. Did I, Charmian, ever love Caesar so?
Oh, that brave Caesar.
Be choked with such another emphasis. Say thy brave Antony.
The valiant Caesar.
By Isis, I will give thee bloody teeth if thou with Caesar paragon again, my man of men.
By your most gracious pardon, I sing but after you.
My salad days, when I was green in judgment, cold in blood, to say as I said then. But come away, get me ink and paper, he shall have every day a several greeting, or I'll unpeople Egypt.
Exeunt. Act 2, Scene 1. Messina, Pompey's house. Enter Pompey and the pirate MENAS in warlike manner.
If the great gods be just, they shall assist the deeds of just men.
We, ignorant of ourselves, beg often our own harms, which the wise powers deny us for our good. So find we profit by losing of our prayers.
I shall do well. The people love me, and the sea is mine. My powers are crescent, and my auguring hope says it will come to the full. Mark Antony in Egypt sits at dinner and will make no wars without doors. Caesar gets money where he loses hearts. Lepidus flatters both. Of both is flattered, but he neither loves, but either cares for him.
Caesar and Lepidus are in the field. A mighty strength they carry.
Where have you this? 'Tis false.
From Silvia, sir.
He dreams. I know they are in Rome together, looking for Antony. But all the charms of love, salt, Cleopatra, soften thy wand lip. Let witchcraft join with beauty, lust with both. Tie up the libertine in a field of feasts. Keep his brain fuming, Epicurean cooks. Sharpen with cloyless sauce his appetite. That sleep and feeding may prorogue his honor, even till a least dullness.
Enter messenger. More, Marty.
Oh, how now, sirrah?
This is most certain that I shall deliver. Mark Antony is every hour in Rome expected.
So MENAS, I did not think this amorous surfighter would have donned his helm for such a petty war. His soldiership is twice the other twain, but let us rear the higher our opinion, that our stirring can from the lap of Egypt's widow pluck the ne'er lust wearied Antony.
I cannot hope Caesar and Antony shall well greet together. His wife that's dead did transpass to Caesar. His brother warred upon him, although I think not moved by Antony.
I know not, MENAS, how lesser enmities may give way to greater, were't not that we stand up against them all. 'Twere pregnant they should square between themselves, for they have entertained enough to draw their swords. But how the fear of us may cement their divisions and bind up the petty difference, we yet not know. Be it as our gods will have it. It only stands our lives upon to use our strongest hands. Come, MENAS.
Exeunt. Scene 2, Rome. The house of Lepidus. Hold.
Good ENOBARBUS, 'tis worthy deed, and shall become you well to entreat your captain to soft and gentle speech.
I shall entreat him to answer like himself. If Caesar move him, let Antony look over Caesar's head and speak as loud as Mars.
'Tis not a time for private stomaching.
No, every time serves for the matter that is then born in it.
But small to great matters must give way.
Not if the small come first.
Your speech is passion, but pray you stir no embers up.
Enter at one door Antony with his train.
Here comes the noble Antony.
Enter at another door Caesar, MENAS, and Agrippa.
And yonder Caesar.
Hear, hear, noble friends. That which combined us was most great, and let not a learner action rend us. What amiss may it be gently heard. When we debate our trivial differences loud, we do commit murder in the healing wounds. Then, noble partners, the rather for I earnestly beseech, touch you the sourest points with sweet terms, nor curseness grow to the matter.
'Tis spoken well.
Welcome to Rome.
Thank you.
Sit.
Sit, sir.
Nay, then.
They sit.
I learn you take things ill which are not so, or being concern you not, now Caesar. My being in Egypt, was it to you?
No more than my residing here at Rome might be to you in Egypt. Yet, if you there did practice on my state, your being in Egypt might be my question.
How intend you practiced?
You may be pleased to catch at mine intent by what did here befall me. Your wife and brother made wars upon me, and their contestation was theme for you. You were the word of war.
You do mistake your business. My brother never did urge me in his act. I did acquire it, and have my learning from some true reports that drew their swords with you. Did he not rather discredit my authority with yours, and make the wars alike against my stomach, having alike your cause? Am I not then your partner in the cause against which he fought? I could not with graceful eyes attend those wars, from which fronted mine own peace. As for my wife, so much uncurable her garboil, Caesar, made out of her impatience, which not wanted shrewdness of policy too, I grieving grant, did you too much disquiet, for that you must but say I could not help it?
I wrote to you when rioting in Alexandria. You did pocket up my letters, and with taunts did jibe my missive out of audience.
Sir, he fell upon me ere admitted, but next day I told him of myself, which was as much as to have asked him pardon. Let this fellow be nothing of our strife. If we contend, out of our question, wipe him.
You have broken the article of your oath, which you shall never have tongue to charge me with.
Soft, Caesar.
No, Lepidus, let him speak. The honor is sacred which he talks on now, supposing that I lacked it, but on Caesar, the article of my oath?
To lend me arms and aid when I required them, the which you both denied.
Neglected, rather, and then when poison hours had bound me up from mine own knowledge, as nearly as I may, I'll play the penitent to you. Be mine honestly, shall not make poor my greatness, nor my power, work without it. Truth is that Fulvia, to have me out of Egypt, made wars here, for which myself, the ignorant motive, do so far as pardon, as befits mine honor, to stoop in such a case.
'Tis noble spoken. If it might please you to enforce no further the griefs between you, to forget them quiet, were to remember that the present need speaks to atone you. Worthily spoken, MENAS.
Or, if you borrow one another's love for the instant, you may, when you hear no more words of Pompey, return it again. You shall have time to wrangle in when you have nothing else to do.
Thou art a soldier only. Speak no more.
The truth should be silent, I had almost forgot.
You wrong this presence, therefore speak no more.
Go to, then, your considerate stone.
I do not much dislike the matter, but the manner of his speech, for it cannot be we shall remain in friendship, our conditions so differing in their acts. Yet if I knew what hoop should hold us staunch from edge to edge of the world, I would pursue it.
Give me leave, Caesar.
Speak, Agrippa.
Thou hast a sister by the mother's side, admired Octavia. Great Mark Antony is now a widower.
Say not so, Agrippa. If Cleopatra heard you, your reproof were well deserved of rashness.
I am not married, Caesar. Let me hear Agrippa further speak.
To hold you in perpetual amity, to make you brothers, and to knit your hearts with an unslipping knot. Take Antony Octavia to his wife, whose beauty claims no worse a husband than the best of men, whose virtue and whose general graces speak that which none else can utter. By this marriage, all little jealousies, which now seem great, and all great fears, which now import their dangers, would then be nothing. Truths would be tales, where now half tales be truths. Her love to both would each to other, and all loves to both. Draw after her.
Will Caesar speak?
Not till he hears how Antony is touched with what is spoke already.
What power is in Agrippa, if I would say, Agrippa, be it so, to make this good?
The power of Caesar, and his power unto Octavia.
May I never to this good purpose that so fairly shows dream of impediment. Let me have thy hand, further this act of grace, and from this hour The heart of brothers govern in our loves and sway our great designs.
There's my hand. A sister I bequeath to you whom no brother did ever love so dearly. Let her live to join our kingdoms and our hearts, and never fly off our loves again.
Happily, amen.
I did not think to draw my sword against Pompey, for he hath laid strange courtesies and great of late upon me. I must thank him only, lest my remembrance suffer ill report, and heel of that defy him.
Time calls upon us. Of us must Pompey presently be sought, or else he seeks us out.
Where lies he?
About the Mount MENAS.
What is his strength by land?
Great and increasing, but by sea he is an absolute master.
So is the fame. Would we had spoke together. Haste we forward, yet ere we put ourselves in arms, dispatch we the business we have talked of.
With most gladness, and do invite you to my sister's view, whither straight I'll lead you.
Let us, Lepidus, not lack your company.
Noble Antony, not sickness should detain me.
Flourish. Exeunt all but ENOBARBUS, Agrippa, and MAECENAS.
We have cause to be glad that matters are so well digested. You stayed well by in Egypt.
Aye, sir, we did sleep day out of countenance and made the night light with drinking.
8 wild boars roasted whole at breakfast, and but 12 persons there. Is this true?
This was but as a fly by an eagle. We had much more monstrous matter of feast, which worthily deserved nothing.
She's a most triumphant lady, if report be square to her.
When she first met Mark Antony, she pursed up his heart upon the river of Cydnus. The barge she sat in, like a burnished throne, burned on the water. The poop was beaten gold, purple sails, and so perfumed that the winds were lovesick with them. The oars were silver, which to the tune of flutes kept stroke, and made the water which they beat to follow faster as amorous of their strokes. For her own person, it beggared all description. She did lie in her pavilion, cloth of gold, of tissue, or picturing that Venus where we see the fancy outworked nature. On each side her stood pretty dimpled boys, like smiling cupids with diverse colored fans, whose wind did seem to glow the delicate cheeks which they did cool. Her gentlewomen, like Nereids, so many mermaids, tended her in the eyes and made their bends adorning. At the helm, a seeming mermaid steers. The silken tackle swelled with the touches of those flower-soft hands that yarily framed the office. From the barge, a strange, invisible perfume hits the scents of the adjacent wharfs. The city cast her people out upon her, and Antony, enthroned in the marketplace, did sit alone, whistling to the air, which, but for vacancy, had gone to gaze on Cleopatra too. Upon her landing, Antony sent to her, invited her to supper. She replied it should be better he became her guest, which she entreated. Our courteous Antony, who ne'er word no woman, being barbed 10 times over, goes to the feast, and for his ordinary pays his heart for what his eyes eat only.
Now Antony must leave her utterly.
Never. He will not. Age cannot wither her, nor custom stale her infinite variety. Other women cloy their appetites, they feed, but she makes hungry where most she satisfies. The vilest things become themselves in her, that the holy priest bless her when she is riggish.
If beauty, wisdom, modesty can settle the heart of Antony, Octavia is a blessed lottery to him.
Let us go, good ENOBARBUS. Make yourself my guest, whilst you abide here.
Humbly, sir, I thank you.
Exeunt. Scene 3 the same. Octavius Caesar's house. Enter Antony and Caesar with Octavia between them.
The world and my great office will sometimes divide me from your bosom.
All which time before the gods my knee shall bow my prayers to them for you.
Good night, sir. My Octavia, read not my blemishes in the world's report. I have not kept my square, but that to come shall all be done by the rule. Good night, dear lady. Good night, sir.
Good night.
Exit Caesar and Octavia. Enter Soothsayer.
Now, sirrah, you do wish yourself in Egypt?
Would I had never come from thence, nor you thither.
If you can, your reason.
I see it in my motion, have it not in my tongue, but yet hie you to Egypt again.
Say to me, whose fortune shall rise higher, Caesar's or mine?
Caesar's. Therefore, O Antony, stay not by his side. Thy demon, that thy spirit which keeps thee is noble, courageous, high, unmatchable, where Caesar's is not. But near him thy angel becomes afeared, and being overpowered, therefore, make space enough between you.
Speak this no more.
If thou dost play with him at any game, thou art sure to lose. And of that natural luck he beats thee against the odds. Thy luster thickens when he shines by. I say again, thy spirits are afraid to govern thee near him. But he away 'tis noble.
Get thee gone. Say to Ventidius I would speak with him.
Exit Soothsayer.
Be it aught or hap, he hath spoken true. The very dice obey him, and in our sports my better cunning faints under his chance. If we draw lots, he speeds. His cocks do win the battle still of mine, when it is all to naught, and his quails ever beat mine in hoop at odds. I will to Egypt, and though I make this marriage for my peace, I the east my pleasure lies.
Exit Antony. Scene 4 the same. A street. Enter Lepidus and Agrippa.
Trouble yourself no further. Pray you, hasten the generals after. Your way is shorter. My purposes do draw me about. You shall, as I conceive the journey, be at the mount before me. You'll win 2 days upon me.
Sir, good success and farewell. Mark Antony will even be kissed, but kiss Octavia, and will follow.
Farewell.
Exeunt. Scene 5, Alexandria, Cleopatra's palace. Enter Cleopatra and Charmian.
Some music, moody food of us that trade in love. The music, ho! Let it alone. Let's to billiards. Come, Charmian.
My arm is sore.
Come, you'll play with me.
As well as I can, madam.
And when goodwill is showed, thou to come too short, the actor may plead pardon. I'll none now. Give me mine angle. We'll to the river, there my music playing far off, I will betray tawny-finned fishes. My bended hook shall pierce their slimy jaws. As I draw them up, I'll think them every one an Antony, and say, aha, you're caught.
Enter a messenger.
Oh, from Italy. Ram thou thy fruitful tidings in mine ears that long time have been barren.
Madam,
Antonio's dead? Oh, if thou say so, villain, thou'st killed thy mistress. But well and free, if thou so yield him, there is gold. Here, and my bluest veins to kiss a hand that kings have lipped and trembled kissing.
First, madam, he is well.
Why, there's more gold. But, sirrah, mark, we used to say the dead are well. Bring it to that, the gold I give thee will melt and pour down thy ill-uttering throat.
Good madam, hear me.
Well, go to, I will. I have a mind to strike thee ere thou speak. Did thou say Antony lives, is well, or friends with Caesar, or do not captive to him, I'll set thee in a shower of gold and hail rich pearls upon thee.
Madam, he is well.
Well said.
And friends with Caesar.
Thou art an honest man.
Caesar and he are greater friends than ever.
Make thee a fortune from me.
But yet, madam.
I do not like but yet. It does allay the good precedents. Fie upon but yet. But yet is a jailer to bring forth some monstrous malefactor. Prithee, friend, pour out pack of matter to mine ear, the good and bad together. He's friends with Caesar, in state of health thou sayest, and thou sayest free.
Free, madam, no, I made no such report. He's bound unto Octavia.
For what good turn?
For the best turn in the bed.
I am pale, Charmian.
Madam, he's married to Octavia.
Most infectious pestilence upon thee.
She strikes him.
Good madam, patience.
What say you?
She strikes him down.
Hence, horrible villain, or I'll spurn thy eyes like balls before me. I'll unhair thy head.
She drags him up and down across the floor.
Thou shalt be whipped with wire and strewed in brine, smarting and lingering pickle.
Gracious madam, I that do bring the news made not the match.
Say 'tis not so. A promise I will give thee and make thy fortunes proud. The blow thou hast shall make thy peace for moving me to rage, and I will boot thee with what gifts beside thy modesty can beg.
He's married, madam.
Rogue, thou hast lived too long.
She draws a knife.
What mean you, madam? I have made no fault.
Good madam, keep yourself within yourself. The man is innocent.
From innocence escape not the thunderbolt. Melt Egypt into Nile, and kindly creatures turn all to serpents. Is he married? I cannot hate thee worser than I do if thou say again yes.
He is married, madam.
Gods confound thee. Dost thou hold still there still?
Should I lie, madam?
Oh, I would thou didst. So half my Egypt were submerged and made a cistern for scaled snakes. Go get thee hence. Hast thou Narcissus in thy face to me? Thou wouldst appear most ugly. Is he married? He is married.
I crave your highness pardon.
He is married.
Take no offense that I would not offend you. To punish me for what you made me do seems much unequal. He is married to Octavia.
Oh, that his fault should make a knave of thee. Thou art not what the art sure of. Go get thee hence. The merchandise which thou hast brought from Rome are all too dear for me. Lie they upon thy hand and be undone by them.
Exit messenger.
Good your highness, patience.
In praising Antony, I have dispraised Caesar.
Many times, madam.
I'm paid for it now. Lead me from hence, I faint. Oh, Charmian, 'tis no matter. Let him forever go, let him not, Charmian, though he be painted one way, like a Gorgon, the other way's a Mars. Bid you, Alexis, bring me word her features. Oh, pity me, Charmian, but do not speak to me. Lead me to my chamber.
Exeunt. Scene 6. Near Misenum. Flourish. Enter Pompey, MENAS at one door, with drum and trumpet. At another, Caesar, Lepidus, Antony, ENOBARBUS, MENAS, and Agrippa, with soldiers marching.
Before we two shall fight, it is most meet that first we come to words, and therefore have we our written purposes before us sent, which, if thou hast considered, let us know if 'twill tie up thy discontented sword and carry back to Sicily much tall youth that else must perish here.
Do you all three, the senators alone of this great world, chief factors for the gods, I do not know wherefore my father should revengers want, having a son and friends, since Julius Caesar, who at Philippi the great Brutus ghosted, there saw you laboring for him. What was't that moved pale Cassius to conspire? And what made the all-honored, honest Roman Brutus with the armed rest, courtiers of beauteous freedom, to drench the capital, that they would have one man but a man? And that is it hath made me rig my navy, at whose burden the angered ocean foams, with which I meant to scourge the ingratitude that despiteful Rome cast upon my noble father.
Thou canst not fear us, Pompey, with thy sails. We'll speak with thee at sea. At land thou knowest how much we do account thee.
Be pleased to tell us, for this is from the present, how you take the offers sent you.
You have made me offer of Sicily, Sardinia, and I must rid all the sea of pirates, then to send measures of wheat to Rome, disagreed upon, to part with unhacked edges and bear back our charges undinted.
That's our offer.
No, then, I came before you here, a man prepared to take this offer. But Mark Antony put me to some impatience, though I lose the praise of it by telling. You must know, when Caesar and your brother were at blows, your mother came to Sicily and did find her welcome friendly.
I have heard it, Pompey, and am well studied for a liberal thanks, which I do owe you.
Let me have your hand.
They clasp hands.
I did not think, sir, to have met you here.
The beds in the east are soft, and thanks to you that called me timelier than my purpose hither, for I have gained by it.
I saw you last. There's a change upon you.
Well, I know not what Count's harsh fortune casts upon my face, but in my bosom shall she never come to make my heart her vassal.
Well met here.
I hope so, Lepidus. Thus we are agreed. I crave your composition may be written and sealed between us.
That's the next to do.
We'll feast each other ere we part, and let's draw lots who shall begin.
That will I, Pompey.
Aha, no, Antony. Take the lot. But first or last, your fine Egyptian cookery shall have the fame. I have heard that Julius Caesar grew fat with feasting there.
You have heard much.
I have fair meanings, sir.
And fair words to them.
Then so much have I heard, and I have heard Apollodorus carried.
No more of that. He did so.
What, I pray you?
A certain queen to Caesar in a mattress.
Ah, I know thee now. How farest thou, soldier? Farest thou, soldier?
Well, and well am like to do, for I perceive 4 feasts are toward.
Let me shake thy hand. I never hated thee. I have seen thee fight when I have envied thy behavior.
Sir, I never loved you much, but I have praised you when you have well deserved 10 times as much as I have said you did.
Enjoy thy plainness. It's nothing ill becomes thee. Aboard my galley, I invite you all. Will you lead, lords?
Exeunt all but ENOBARBUS and MENAS.
Thy father, Pompey, would never have made this treaty. You and I have known, sir.
At sea, I have done well with water.
And you by land?
I will praise any man that will praise me, though it cannot be denied what I have done by land.
Nor what I have done by water.
Yes, something you can deny for your own safety. You have been a great thief by sea.
And you by land.
There I deny my land service. But give me your hand, MENAS.
They clasp hands.
We came hither to fight with you.
For my part, I am sorry it has turned to a drinking. We look not for Mark Antony here. Pray, was he married to Cleopatra?
She's a sister.
True, sir. She was the wife of Callus Marcellus.
But she is now the wife of Marcus Antonius.
Pray you, sir, that is Caesar and he forever knit together?
If I were bound to divine of this unity, I would not prophesy so. I think the policy of that purpose made more in the marriage than the love of the parties. But you shall find the band that seems to tie their friendship together will be the very strangler of their amity. Octavia is a holy, cold, and still conversation.
Who would not have his wife so?
Not he that himself is not so, which is Mark Antony. He will to his Egyptian dish again. Then shall the sighs of Octavia blow the fire up in Caesar. And as I said before, that which is the strength of their army shall prove the immediate author of their variance. Antony will use his affection where it is. He married, but his occasion here.
And thus it may be. Come, sir, will you aboard? I have a health for you.
I shall take it, sir.
Come, let's away.
Scene 7. On board Pompey's gallery off Misenum. Music plays. Servants set up a banquet on stage. Senate sounds and enter Caesar, Antony, Pompey, Lepidus, already drunk, Agrippa, ENOBARBUS, MENAS, and more.
Thus they do, sir. They take the flow of the Nile by certain scales in the pyramid. They know by the height, the lowness, or the mean if dearth or foison follow.
You've strange serpents there.
Aye, Lepidus.
Your serpent of Egypt is bred now of your mud by the operation of your son. So is your crocodile.
They are so.
Sit and some wine. A health to Lepidus.
I am not so well as I should be, but I'll ne'er out.
Not till you have slept. I fear me you'll be in till then.
Hey, certainly I have heard the Ptolemies, pyramids are a very goodly thing. Without contradiction, I have heard that.
Pompey, a word.
Oh, forbear me till anon. This wine for Lepidus.
What manner of thing is your crocodile?
It is shaped, sir, like itself, and it is broad as it hath breadth. It is just so high as it is, and moves with its own organs.
What color is it of?
Of its own color, too.
'Tis a strange serpent.
Forsake thy seat. I do beseech thee, captain, and hear my speak a word.
Oh, go hang, sir, hang. Tell me of what? Away. Oh, do as I bid you. Where's this cup I called for?
If for the sake of merit thou will hear me, rise from thy stool.
I think thou art mad.
He rises, and they walk aside.
I have ever held my cap off to thy fortunes.
Thou hast served me with much faith. What else to say?
Wilt thou be lord of all the world?
What sayest thou?
Wilt thou be lord of the whole world?
Hast thou drunk well?
No, Pompey. I have kept me from the cup. Thou art, if thou darest be, the earthly Jove. Whatever the ocean's pale or skies eclipse in thine, if thou wilt have it.
How should that be?
These three world sharers, these competitors are in the vessel. Let me cut the cable, and when we are put off, fall to their throats. All there is thine.
Ah, this thou shouldst have done, and not have spoke on it. In me 'tis villainy, in thee it had been good service. Oh, thou must know 'tis not thy profit that does lead mine honor it. Repent that ere thy tongue hath so betrayed thine act, being done unknown. I should have found it afterwards. Well done, but must condemn it now. Desist and drink.
For this I never followed thy pale fortunes more. Who seeks and will not take when once till offered, shall never find it more.
This health to Lepidus.
Bear him ashore.
Servants collect Lepidus.
I'll pledge it for him, Pompey.
ENOBARBUS. Here's to thee, MENAS.
Oh, here's to thee, MENAS.
They drink.
ENOBARBUS, welcome.
ENOBARBUS points to the servants carrying Lepidus off.
Ah, there's a strong fellow, MENAS.
Why?
There's the third part of the world, man. Seest not?
The third part? That is drunk. Would it be all that it might go on wheels?
This is not yet an Alexandrian feast.
It ripens towards it. Strike the vessels, ho! Here's to Caesar.
I could well forbear it. It's monstrous labor when I wash my brain and it grows fouler.
Be a child, o thy time.
Possess it, I'll make answer. But I had rather fast from all 4 days than drink so much in one.
My brave emperor, shall we dance now the Egyptian bacchanals and celebrate our drink?
Let's have it, good soldier.
Come, thou monarch of the vine, plump thee back a swift pink eyne. In thy vats our cares be drowned, with thy grapes our hairs be crowned. Cup us till the world go round, cup us till the world go round.
What would you more? Pompey, good night. Good brother, let me request you off. Our graver business frowns at this levity. Gentle lords, let's part. You see we have burnt our cheeks. Strong ENOBARB is weaker than the wine, and mine own tongue splits what it speaks. The wild disguise hath almost anticked us all. What needs more words? Good night. Good Antony, your hand.
I'll try you on the shore.
And shall, sir, give us your hands.
Oh, Antony, you have my father's house. But what we are, friends. Come down into the boat.
These drums, these trumpets, flutes, what? Let Neptune hear. Neptune hear, we bid a loud farewell to these great fellows. Sound and be hanged. Sound off.
Sound a flourish with drums, exeunt, celebrating still. Act 3, Scene 1, the morning after, Rome, an antechamber in Octavius Caesar's house. Enter Agrippa at one door, ENOBARBUS at another. What, are the brothers parted?
They have dispatched with Pompey, he is gone. The other three are sailing. Octavia weeps to part from Rome. Caesar is sad, and Lepidus since Pompey's feast, as MENAS says, is troubled with the great sickness. Oh, how he loves Caesar.
Nay, but how dearly he adores Mark Antony.
Indeed, he plied them both with excellent praises. But he loves Caesar best, yet he loves Antony. Who, hearts, tongues, figures, scribes, bards, poets, cannot think, speak, cast, write, sing, number. Who? His love to Antony. But as for Caesar, kneel down, and wonder.
Both he loves.
They are his shards, and he their beetle.
Trumpet within.
So, this is the horse. Adieu, noble Agrippa.
Good fortune, worthy soldier, and farewell. Enter Caesar, Antony, Lepidus, and Octavia.
You take from me a great part of myself. Use me well in it. Sister, prove such a wife as my thoughts make thee, and as my farthest bond shall pass on thy approof. Most noble Antony, let not the piece of virtue which is set betwixt us, as the cement of our love to keep it builded, be the ram to batter the fortress of it. For better might we have loved without this mean, if on both parts this be not cherished.
You shall not find, though you be therein curious, the least cause for what you seem to fear. So the gods keep you, and make the hearts of Romans serve your ends. We will here part.
Farewell, my dearest sister, fare thee well. The elements be kind to thee, and make thy spirits all of comfort. Fare thee well.
My noble brother.
She weeps.
The April's in her eyes. It is love's spring, and these the showers to bring it on. Be cheerful.
Sir, look well to my husband's house, and...
What, Octavia?
I'll tell you in your ear.
Caesar and Octavia walk aside.
Her tongue will not obey her heart, nor can her heart inform her tongue. The swan's down feather that stands upon the swell at the full of tide, and neither way inclines.
Will Caesar weep?
He has a cloud in his face.
He were the worse, for that were he a horse. So is he being a man.
Why, ENOBARBUS, when Antony found Julius Caesar dead, he cried almost to roaring, and he wept when at Philippi he found Brutus slain.
That year indeed he was troubled with the room. What willingly did confound he wailed. Believed it till I wept too.
No, sweet Octavia, you shall hear from me still. The time shall not outgo my thinking of you.
Come, sir, come. I'll wrestle with you in my strength of love. Look, here I have you.
He embraces Caesar.
Thus I let you go, and give you to the gods.
Adieu. Be happy.
Let all the numbers of the stars give light to thy fair way.
Farewell. Farewell.
He kisses Octavia.
Farewell.
Trumpet sound. Exeunt. Scene 2, Alexandria, Cleopatra's palace. Enter Cleopatra and Charmian.
Where is the fellow?
Half afeard to come.
Go to. Come hither, sir.
Enter messenger as before.
Come down near.
Most gracious majesty,
Did thou behold Octavia?
I dread queen.
Where?
Madam, in Rome, I looked her in the face and saw her led between her brother and Mark Antony.
Is she as tall as me?
Oh, she's not, madam.
Didst hear her speak? Is she shrill-tongued or low?
Madam, I heard her speak. She is low-voiced.
That's not so good. He cannot like her long.
Like her? Oh, Isis, 'tis impossible.
I think so, Charmian. Dull of tongue and dwarfish. What majesty is in her gait?
She creeps. Her motion and her station are as one. She shows a body rather than a life, a statue than a breather.
Is this certain?
Or I have no observance.
3 in Egypt cannot make better note.
He's very knowing, I do perceive it. There's nothing in her yet. The fellow has good judgment. Guess her years.
Madam, she was a widow.
Widow! Charmian, hark!
And I do think she's 30.
Hast thou her face in mind? Is it long or round?
Round, even to faultiness.
For the most part, too, they're foolish that are so. Her hair, what color?
Brown, madam, and her forehead as low as she would wish it.
There's gold for thee. Thou must not take my former sharpness ill. I will employ thee back again. I find thee most fit for business.
Exit messenger.
Proper man.
Indeed, he is so. I repent me much that I so harried him. Why, methinks by him this creature's no such thing.
Nothing, madam.
I have one more thing to ask him yet, good Charmian, but 'tis no matter. Thou shalt bring him to me where I will write. All may be well enough.
I warrant you, madam.
Exeunt. Scene 3, Athens, a room in Mark Antony's camp. Enter Antony with letters and Octavia.
Nay, Octavia, not only that were excusable, that and thousands more of semblable import, but he hath waged new wars against Pompey, made his will and read it to public ear, spoke scantily of me, when perforce he could not but pay me terms of honor, cold and sickly. He vented them, most narrow measure lent me, when the best hint was given him, he not took it, or did it from his teeth.
Oh, my good lord, believe not all, or if you must believe, stomach not all. A more unhappy lady, if this division chance, ne'er stood between, praying for both parts. The good gods will mock me presently when I shall pray, oh, bless my lord and husband. Undo that prayer by crying out as loud, oh, bless my brother. Husband, win, brother. Prays and destroys the prayer, no midway twixt these extremes at all.
Gentle Octavia, let your best love draw to that point which seeks best to preserve it. If I lose mine honor, I lose myself. Better I would not yours than yours so branchless, but as you requested, yourself shall go between us. The meantime, lady, I'll raise the preparation of a war, shall stain your brother. Make your soonest haste, so your desires are yours.
Thanks to my lord. The Jove of power make me most weak, your recorder. Wars twixt you twain would be as if the world should cleave, and that slain men should shoulder up the rift.
When it appears to you where this begins, turn your displeasure that way, for our faults can never be so equal that your love can equally move with them. Provide your going, choose your own company, and command what course your heart has mind to.
Exeunt. Scene 4 the same. Another room. Enter ENOBARBUS and EROS.
How now, friend Eros?
There's strange news come, sir.
What, man?
Caesar and Lepidus have made wars upon Pompey. Caesar, having made use of him in the wars against Pompey, presently denied his third rivalry, would not let him partake in the glory of the action, and not resting here, accuses him of letters he had formerly written to Pompey. Upon his own appeal, seizes him, so the poor third is up till death enlarge his confine.
Oh. Then, world, thou hast a pair of chaps, no more, and throw between them all the food thou hast. They'll grind the one the other.
He's walking in the garden thus, and spurns the rush that lies before him, cries, "Fool Lepidus!" and threatens the throat of that his officer that murdered Pompey.
Oh, our great navy's rigged.
For Italy and Caesar. More, Domitius, my lord does desire you presently.
Your news you might have told thereafter then, but let it be. Bring me to Antony.
Come, sir.
Exeunt. Scene 5 Rome. Octavius Caesar's house. Enter Agrippa, MENAS, and Caesar.
Contemning Rome, he has done all this and more in Alexandria. Here's the manner of it. In the marketplace, on a tribunal silvered, Cleopatra and himself in chairs of gold were publicly enthroned. At the feet sat Caesarion, whom they call my father's son, and all the unlawful issue that their lust since then hath made between them. Unto her he gave the establishment of Egypt, made her of Lower Syria, Cyprus, Lydia, absolute queen.
This in the public's eye?
In the common showplace where they exercise. His sons he there proclaimed the kings of kings. In the habiliments of the goddess Isis, she that day appeared, and oft before they gave audience, as 'tis reported so.
Let Rome be thus informed.
The people knows it, and have now received his accusations.
Who does he accuse?
Caesar, and that having in Sicily Sextus Pompey spoiled, we had not rated him his part of the isle. Then does he say he lent me some shipping unrestored. Lastly, he frets that Lepidus of the triumvirate should be deposed, and being that we detain all his revenue.
Sir, this should be answered.
'Tis done already, and the messenger gone. I have told him Lepidus was grown too cruel, that he his high authority abused, and did deserve his change. For what I have conquered, I grant him part, but then in his Armenia and other of his conquered kingdoms, I demand the like.
He'll never yield to that.
Nor must not then be yielded to in his.
Enter Octavia with her train.
Hail, Caesar, and my lord, hail, most dear Caesar.
That ever I should call thee castaway.
You have not called me so, nor have you cause.
Why have you stolen upon us thus? You come not like Caesar's sister. The wife of Antony should have an army for an usher, and the neighs of a horse to tell of her approach long ere she did appear. But you come here, but you are come a market maid to Rome. We should have met you by sea and land, supplying every stage with an augmented greeting.
Good my lord, to come thus was I not constrained, but did it on my free will. My lord, Mark Antony, hearing that you prepared for war, acquainted my grieved ear withal, whereon I begged his pardon for return.
Which soon he granted, being an abstract tween his lust and him.
Do not say so, my lord.
I have eyes upon him, and his affairs come to me on the wind. Where is he now?
My lord, in Athens.
No, my most wronged sister. Cleopatra hath nodded him to her. He hath given his empire up to a whore, who now are levying the kings of the earth for war.
Ah me, most wretched.
Welcome then hither. Your letters did withhold our breaking forth till we perceived both how you were wrong led and we in negligent danger.
Is it so, sir?
Most certain. Sister, welcome. Pray you be ever known to patience, my dearest sister. Each heart in Rome does love and pity you. Only the adulterous Antony, most large in his abominations, turns you off and gives his potent regiment to a trull that noises it against us. You are abused beyond the mark of thought, and the high gods, to do you justice, makes his ministers of us and those that love you. Best of comfort and ever welcome to us.
Exeunt. Scene 6, near Actium, Mark Antony's camp. Enter Cleopatra and ENOBARBUS.
I will be even with thee, doubt it not. Thou hast forspoke my being in these wars, and sayest it is not fit.
Well, it is it?
It is not denounced against us. Why should we not be there in person?
Well, I could reply, if we should serve with horse and mares together. The horse were merely lost. The mares would bear a soldier and his horse.
What is it you say?
Your presence needs must puzzle Antony. Take from his heart, take from his brain, from time, what should not then be spared. He has already produced for levity, and 'tis said in Rome that Photinus, an eunuch, and your maids manage this war.
Sink Rome in their tongues rot that speak against us. A charge we bear in the war, and as the president of my kingdom will appear there for a man. Speak not against it, I will not stay behind.
Nay, I have done. Here comes my emperor.
Is it not strange, Canidius, that from Tarentum and Brundusium, how could so quickly cut the Ionian Sea and take in Turin? You have heard on it sweet.
Celerity is never more admired than by the negligent.
A good rebuke, which might have well become the best of men to taunt at slackness. Canidius, we will fight with him by sea.
By sea, what else?
Why will my lord do so?
For that he dares us to it.
Oh, your ships are not well manned. Your mariners are muleteers, reapers, people engrossed by swift impress. In Caesar's fleet are those that often have gainst Pompey fought. Their ships are yours heavy. No disgrace shall fall you by refusing him at sea, being prepared for land.
By sea, by sea.
Most worthy sir, you therein throw away the absolute soldiership you have by land. Distract your army, which doth most consist of war-marked footmen. Leave unexecuted your own renowned knowledge, quite forego the way which promises assurance, and give up yourself merely to chance, and hazard from firm security.
I'll fight at sea.
I have 60 sails, Caesar none better.
Our overplus of shipping will we burn, and with the rest full managed, from the head to Actium, beat the approaching Caesar. But if we fail, we can then do it by land.
Enter a messenger.
Thy business.
The news is true, my lord. He is decried. Caesar has taken Tournai.
Exit messenger.
Can he be there in person? 'Tis impossible. Strange that his power should be. Canidius, our 19 legions thou shalt hold by land, and our 12,000 horse wheel to our ship.
Exeunt Antony and Cleopatra.
By Hercules, I think I am in the right.
Soldier, thou art, but his whole action grows not in the power on it. So our leaders led, and we are women's men.
Canidius!
With news, the times in labor, and throws forth each minute some.
Exeunt. Scene 7. A plain near Actium. Enter Caesar with his lieutenant.
Strike not by land, keep hold. Provoke not battle till we have done at sea. Do not exceed the prescript of this scroll.
Caesar hands him a scroll.
Our fortune lies upon this jump.
Exeunt. Scene 8. Another part of the plain. Enter Antony and ENOBARBUS.
Set we our squadrons on yon side of the hill in eye of Caesar's battle, from which place we may the number of the ships behold, and so proceed accordingly.
Exeunt. Scene 9. Another part of the plain. Canidius marcheth with his land army one way over the stage, and the lieutenant of Caesar on the other way. After their going in is heard the noise of a sea fight. Alarum. Enter ENOBARBUS.
Not, all not. I can behold no longer the Antoniad, the Egyptian admiral, with all their 60 fly and turn the rudder. To see mine eyes are blasted.
Enter SCARUS.
How appears the fight?
The greater cantle of the world is lost with very ignorance. We have kissed away our kingdoms and provinces. Death is sure. Yon nag of Egypt, its mist of the fight lost sails and flies.
That I beheld. Mine eyes did stricken at the sight, and could not endure a further view.
She once being loosed, the noble ruin of her magic, Antony, claps on his sea wing, and like a darting mallard leaving the fight in height, flees after her. I never saw an action of such shame. Experience, manhood, honor ne'er before did violate so itself.
Alack, alack.
Enter Canidius.
Our fortunes on the sea is out of breath and sinks most lamentably. Had our general been what he knew himself, it had gone well. Oh, he has given example for our flight most grossly by his own.
Why, then, good night indeed.
Toward Peloponnesus are they fled.
Ah, 'tis easy to it, and there I will attend what further comes.
Enter SCARUS.
To Caesar will I render my legions and my horse. 6 kings already show me the way of yielding.
Exit Canidius.
I'll yet follow the wounded chance of Antony, though my reason sits the wind against me.
Exit ENOBARBUS. Scene 10. Alexandria. Cleopatra's palace. Enter Antony.
Hark, the land bids me tread no more upon it. 'Tis a shame to bear me. I am so lated in the world that I have lost my way forever. I have fled myself and have instructed cowards to run and show their shoulders. Friends, be gone. I have myself resolved upon a course which has no need of you. Be gone. My treasures in the harbor, take it. Oh, I follow that I blush to look upon. My very hairs do mutiny for the white, reprove the browns for rashness, and they them for fear and doting. Friends, be gone. Take the hint which my despair proclaims. Let that be left which leaves itself to the seaside straightway. I will possess you of that ship and treasure. Leave me, I pray a little, pray you now, nay, do so, for indeed I have lost command. Therefore I pray you, I'll see you by and by.
Attendants move aside. Antony sits down. Enter Cleopatra, led by Charmian.
A gentle madam, to him, comfort him. Sit down, O Juno.
No, 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 no!
I see you here, sir.
Oh, fie, fie, fie.
The queen, my lord, the queen. Go to him, madam. Speak to him. He's unqualified with very shame.
Then sustain me, oh.
She rises.
Most noble sir, arise. The queen approaches. Her head's declined, and death will seize her, but your comfort makes the rescue.
I have offended reputation, a most unnoble swerving.
Antony rises and approaches Cleopatra.
Oh, whither hast them led me, Egypt? See how I convey my shame out of thine eyes, by looking back what I have left behind, destroyed in dishonor.
Oh, my lord, forgive my fearful sails. I little thought you would have followed.
Egypt, thou knewest too well my heart was to thy rudder tied by the strings, and thou shouldest tow me after. O my spirit, thy full supremacy thou knewest, and that thy beck might from the bidding of the gods command me.
Oh, my pardon.
Now I must to the young man send humble treaties, dodge and palter in the shifts of lowness, who with half the bulk of the world played as I pleased, making and marring fortunes. You did know how much you were my conqueror, and that my sword made me weak by my affection, would obey it on all cause.
Pardon.
Fall not a tear, I say, one of them rates all that is won and lost. Give me a kiss.
They kiss.
Even this repays me, love. I am full of lead, some wine within there, and our viands. Fortune knows we scorn her most, when most she offers blows.
Exeunt. Scene 11, Egypt. Octavius Caesar's camp. Enter Caesar, THIDIAS, and MAECENAS with others.
Let him appear that's come from Antony.
He sends so poor opinion of his wings, when he had superfluous kings for messengers not many moons gone by.
Enter ambassador from Antony.
Approach and speak.
Such as I am, I come from Antony, lord of his fortune. He salutes thee, and requires to live in Egypt, which not granted, he lessens his request, and to thee sues to let him breathe between the heavens and earth, a private man in Athens. This for him. Next, Cleopatra does confess thy greatness, submits her to thy might, and of thee craves the circle of the Ptolemies for her heirs. Now hazard to thy grace.
For Antony, I have no ears to his request. The queen of audience nor desire shall fail, so she from Egypt drive her all disgraced friend, or take his life there. This if she perform, she shall not sue unheard. So to them both.
Fortune pursue thee.
Exit ambassador.
Ha! To try thy eloquence now 'tis prime. Dispatch from Antony, win Cleopatra. Promise, and in our name what she requires. Add more from thine invention, offers. Women are not in their best fortune strong, but want will perjure the ne'er-touched vessel. Try thy cunning, Thidias. Observe how Antony becomes his flaws, and what thou thinkest his very action speaks in every power that moves.
Caesar, I shall.
Exeunt. Scene 12. Alexandria. Cleopatra's palace. Enter Cleopatra and ENOBARBUS.
What shall we do, ENOBARBUS?
Think and die.
Is Antony or we in fault for this?
Antony only, that would make his will lord of his reason. What though you fled from that great face of war, whose several ranges frighted each other? Why should he follow? The itch of his affection should not then have nicked his captainship. At such a point, when half to half the world opposed, he being the mirrored question, 'twas a shame no less than was his loss, to cross your flying flags and leave his navy gazing.
Prithee, peace.
Enter Ambassador with Antony.
Is that his answer?
Aye, my lord.
The queen shall then have courtesy, so she will yield us up.
He says so.
Let her know it. To the boy Caesar send this grizzled head, and he will fill thy wishes to the brim with principalities.
That head, my lord?
To him again, tell him he wears the rose of youth upon him, from which the world should note something particular, his coin, ships, legions, maybe a coward whose ministers could prevail under the service of a child as soon as I be command of Caesar. I dare him therefore to lay his gay comparisons apart, and answer me decline, sword against sword, ourselves alone, I'll write it. Follow me.
Exeunt Antony and Ambassador.
Yes, like enough high-battled Caesar will unstate his happiness and be staged to the show against the slaughter. I see men's judgments are a parcel of their fortunes, and things outward do draw the inward quality after them to suffer all alike. That he should dream, knowing all measures, the full Caesar will answer his emptiness. Caesar, thou hast subdued his judgment too, and now mine honesty and I begin to square. The loyalty well held to fools does make our faith mere folly. Yet he that can endure to follow him, allegiance to a fallen lord, does conquer him that did his master conquer, and earns a place in the story.
Enter THIDIAS.
A messenger from Caesar. Hear it apart.
None but friends say boldly.
So haply are they friends to Antony?
He needs as many, sir, as Caesar has, or needs not us. If Caesar please, our master will lead to be his friend. For us, you know, whose he is, we are, and that is Caesar's.
Thus then, thou most renowned, Caesar entreats not to consider in what case thou standest. He knows that you embrace not Antony as you did love, but as you feared him.
Oh!
The scars upon your honor, therefore, he does pity, as constrained blemishes, not as deserved.
He is a god and knows what is most right. Mine honor was not yielded, but conquered merely.
To be sure, will ask her, sir. Thou art so leaky that we must leave thee to thy sinking, for thy dearest quit thee.
Exit ENOBARBUS.
Shall I say to Caesar what you require of him? For he partly begs to be desired to give. It much would please him that of his fortunes you should make a staff to lean upon. But it would warm his spirits to hear from me you had left Antony and put yourself under his shroud, the universal landlord.
What's your name?
My name is THIDIAS.
Most kind messenger. Say to great Caesar this in deputation. I kiss his conquering hand. Tell him I am prompt to lay my crown at his feet, and there to kneel. Tell him from his all-obeying breath, I hear the doom of Egypt.
'Tis your noblest course, wisdom and fortune combating together. If that the former dare but what it can, no chance may shake it. Give me grace to lay my duty on your hand.
She gives him her hand to kiss.
Your Caesar's father oft, where he had muse of taking kingdoms in, bestowed his lips on that unworthy place as it rained kisses.
Re-enter Antony and ENOBARBUS. THIDIAS kisses Cleopatra's hand.
Favors? By Jove that thunders! What art thou, fellow?
One that but performs the bidding of the fullest man, and worthiest to have command obeyed.
You will be whipped.
Approach there. Ah, you kite. Now gods and devils, authority melts from me. Of late, when I cried, ho, like boys unto a musk kings would start forth and cry, your will? Have you no ears? I am Antony yet.
Enter servant.
Take hence this jack and whip him. Whip him, were it 20 of the greatest tributaries that do acknowledge Caesar. Should I find them so saucy with the hand of she here? What's her name? Since she was Cleopatra? Whip him, fellows, till like a boy, and see him cringe his face and whine aloud in mercy. Take him hence.
Mark Antony.
Tug him away, being whipped. Bring him again. This jack of Caesar's shall bear us an errand to him.
Exit servant with THIDIAS.
You are half-blasted ere I knew you. Ha! Have I pillow left unpressed in Rome, forborne the getting of a lawful race, and by a gem of women to be abused by one that looks on cedars?
Good, my lord.
You have been a boggler ever, but when we were in our viciousness grow hard, oh misery on it, the wise gods seals our eyes, in our own filth drop our clear judgments, make us adore our errors, laugh at it as while we strut to our confusion.
Oh, is it come to this?
I found you as a morsel cold upon dead Caesar's trencher. Nay, you were a fragment of Nice Pompey's, besides what hotter hours, unregistered in vulgar fame, you have luxuriously picked out. For I am sure, though you can guess what temperance should be, you know not what it is.
Wherefore is this?
To let a fellow that will take rewards and say, God quit you, be familiar with my playfellow, your hand, this kingly seal and plighter of high hearts.
Re-enter servant with THIDIAS.
Is he whipped?
Soundly, my lord.
Cried he, and begged for pardon.
He did ask favor.
Now, be thou sorry to follow Caesar in his triumph, since thou hast been whipped for following him. Get thee back to Caesar, tell him thy entertainment. Look, thou say, he makes me angry with him, and he seems proud and disdainful, harping on what I am. Not that he knew I was. He makes me angry, and at this time most easy 'tis to do it, when my good stars that were my former guides have empty left their orbs and shot their fires into the abysm of hell. Be gone, hence with thy stripes.
Exit THIDIAS.
Alack, our terrene moon is now eclipsed, and it portends alone the fall of Antony.
Have you done yet?
To flatter Caesar, would you mingle eyes with one that ties his points?
Not know me yet?
Cold-hearted toward me?
Ah, dear, if I be so, from my cold heart let heaven engender hail, and poison it in the source, and this first stone drop in my neck as it determines. So dissolve my life, the next Caesarian smite, till by degrees the memory of my womb, together with my brave Egyptians all, by the discandying of this pelted storm lie graveless till the flies and gnats of Nile had buried them for prey.
I am satisfied. Caesar sits down in Alexandria, where I will oppose his fate. Our force by land hath nobly held. Our severed navy too have knit again, and fleet threatening most sea-like. Where hast thou been, my heart? Dost you hear, lady? If from the field I shall return once more to kiss these lips, I will appear in blood. I and my sword will earn our chronicle. There's hope in it yet.
That's my brave lord.
I will be treble-sinewed, hearted, breathe, and fight maliciously, for when mine hours were nice and lucky, men did ransom lives of me for jests. But now I'll set my teeth and send to darkness all that stop me. Come, let's have one other gaudy night. Call to me all my sad captains. Fill our bowls once more. Let's mock the midnight bell. Tonight, I'll force the wine, peep through their scars. Come on, my queen, there's sap in it yet. The next time I do fight, I'll make death love me, for I will contend even with his pestilent scythe.
Since my lord is Antony again, I will be Cleopatra.
Now he'll outstare the lightning. To be furious is to be frighted out of fear. And in that mood, the dove will peck the estrich. And I see still a diminution in our captain's brain restores his heart. When valor preys on reason, it eats the sword it fights with. I will seek some way to leave him.
Exit ENOBARBUS. Act 4, Scene 1. Before Alexandria, Octavius Caesar's camp. Enters Caesar, reading a letter with his officers and army.
He calls me boy, and chides as he had power to beat me out of Egypt. My messenger he hath whipped with rods, dares me to personal combat, Caesar to Antony. Let the old ruffian know I have many other ways to die. Meantime, laugh at his challenge. Let our best heads know that tomorrow, the last of many battles we mean to fight. Within our files there are, of those that served Mark Antony but late, enough to fetch him in. See it done, and feast the army. We have stored to do it, and they have earned the waste. Poor Antony.
Exit Caesar. Scene 2, Alexandria, Cleopatra's palace. Enter Antony, Cleopatra, and ENOBARBUS with others.
He will not fight with me, Domitius?
No.
Why should he not?
He thinks, being 20 times of better fortune, he is 20 men to 1.
Tomorrow, soldier, by sea and land I'll fight, or I will live or bathe my dying honor in the blood shall make it live again. Wouldst thou fight well?
I'll strike and cry, take all.
Well said. Come on, call forth my household servants.
Enter some servants.
Let's tonight be bounteous at our meal. Give me thy hand. Thou hast been rightly honest. So hast thou, thou and thou and thou. You have served me well, and kings have been your fellows. For tonight, well, my good fellows, wait on me tonight. Scat not my cups, and make as much of me as when mine empire was your fellow too, and suffered my command. Tend me tonight. Maybe it is the period of your duty. Happily you shall not see me more, or if a mangled shadow. Perchance tomorrow you'll serve another master. I look on you as one that takes his leave. Mine honest friends, I turn you not away, but like a master married to your good service, stay till death. Tend me tonight 2 hours. I ask no more, and the gods yield you for it.
What means you, sir, to give them this discomfort? Look, they weep, and I, an ass, am onion-eyed. For shame, transform us not to women.
Ho, 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 now the witch take me if I meant it thus. Grace grow where those drops fall. My haughty friends, you take me into dolorous ascents, for I spake to you for your comfort, did desire you to burn this night with torches. No, my heart's I hope well of tomorrow, and will lead you where rather I'll expect victorious life than death and honor. Let's to supper come, and drown consideration.
Exeunt. Music plays. Scene 3. The next morning, a room in the palace. Enter Antony and Cleopatra.
Eros, mine armor! Eros!
Leap a little.
No, my chuck. Eros, come, mine armor! Eros!
Enter Eros carrying armor.
Come, good fellow, put thine iron on. If fortune be not ours today, it is because we brave her. Come!
Nay, I'll help too. What's this for?
Ah, let be, let be. Thou art the armorer of my heart. False, false, this.
Soothla, I'll help, thus it must be.
Well, we shall thrive now. Seest thou, my good fellow? Go put thy defenses.
Briefly, sir.
Exit Eros.
It's not buckled well?
Rarely. He that unbuckles this, till we do please to dap it for our repose, shall hear a storm. He fumblest, Eros, and my queen's esquire more tight at this than he. O love, that thou couldst see my wars today, and knewest the royal occupation, thou shouldest see a workman in it. And there is good welcome. Thou lookest like him that knows a warlike change. To business that we love, we rise between, and go to with it delight.
1,000, sir, early though it be, have on their riveted trim, and at the port expect you.
Shout, trumpets flourish.
'Tis well blown, sir. This morning, like the spirit of a youth that means to be of note, begins betimes. So come, give me that. Fare thee well, dame.
He kisses her.
Whatever becomes of me, this is a soldier's kiss, rebukable and worthy shameful check if it were to stand on more mechanic compliment. I'll leave thee now like a man of steel. You that will fight, follow me close. I'll bring you to it. Adieu.
Exit Antony with Eros and soldiers.
Goes forth gallantly, that he and Caesar might determine this great war in a single fight. Then Antony, but well on.
Exit Cleopatra. Scene 4. Alexandria, Mark Antony's camp. Trumpet sounds. Enter Antony and Eros and SCARUS, who meets them.
The gods make this a happy day for Antony.
Would thou and those my scars have once prevailed to make me fight at land?
Hast thou done so? The kings that have revolted and the soldier that has this morning left thee would have still followed thy heeds.
Who's gone this morning?
Who? One ever near 3. Call for ENOBARBUS. He shall not hear thee, or from Caesar's camp say, I am none of thine.
What sayest thou?
Sir, he is with Caesar.
Sir, his chests and treasure he has not with him.
Is he gone?
Most certain.
Go, Eros, send his treasure after. Do it. Detain not jot. I charge thee. Write to him. I will subscribe. Gentle adieus and greetings. Say that I wish he never find more cause to change a master. Oh, my fortunes have corrupted honest men. Dispatch ENOBARBUS.
Exeunt. Scene 5. Alexandria, Octavius Caesar's camp. Flourish. Enter Agrippa and Caesar with ENOBARBUS.
Go forth, Agrippa, and begin the fight. Our will is Antony to be took alive. Make it so known.
Caesar, I shall.
Ah, the time of universal peace is near. Prove this a prosperous day. The three-nooked world shall bear the olive freely.
A senate sounds.
Antony is come into the field. Go, Agrippa, plant those that have revolted in the vant, that Antony may seem to spend his fury upon himself.
Exeunt all but ENOBARBUS.
Alexis did revolt and went to Jewry on affairs of Antony. There did dissuade great Herod to incline himself to Caesar and leave his master Antony. For this pains Caesar had hanged him. Canidius and the rest that fell away have entertainment, but no honorable trust. I have done ill, of which I do accuse myself most sorely, that I will joy no more.
Enter PROCULEIUS.
ENOBARBUS, Antony hath after thee sent all thy treasure with his bounty overplus. The messenger came on my guard, and at thy tent is now unloading his mules. Best you safed the bringer out of the host. I must attend mine office, or would have done to myself. Your emperor continues still a Jove.
Exit PROCULEIUS.
I am alone the villain of the earth, and feel I am so most. O Antony, thou mine of bounty, how wouldst thou have paid my better service when my turpitude thou dost so crown with gold? This blows my heart. If swift thought break it not, a swifter mean shall outstrike thought. But thought will do it. I feel I fight against thee. No, I will go seek some ditch wherein to die. The foulest best fit the latter part of my life.
Exit ENOBARBUS. Scene 6. Field of battle between the camps. Alarum, drums and trumpets. Enter Agrippa with other of Caesar's soldiers. Retire, we have engaged ourselves too far. Caesar himself has work, and our oppression exceeds what we are expected. Exeunt, alarums, enter Antony and SCARUS wounded.
Oh, my brave emperor, this is fought indeed. Had we done so at first, we had driven them home with clouts about their heads.
Thou bleedest apace.
Ah, I have but a wound here.
Sound of retreat far off.
They do retire.
We'll beat them into bench holes. I have yet room for 6 scorches more.
Enter EROS.
They are beaten, sir, and our advantage serves for a fair victory.
Let us score their backs and snatch them up as we take hairs behind.
Once for thy sprightly comfort, and tenfold for thy good valor, I will reward thee. Come thee on.
Exeunt. Scene 7. Under the walls of Alexandria. Alarum. Enter Antony again in a march, SCARUS with others.
We have beat him to his camp. Run one before and let the queen know of our guests.
Soldier exits.
Tomorrow, before the sun shall see us, we'll spill the blood that has today escaped. I thank you all, for doughty-handed are you, and have fought not as you served the cause, but as it had been each man's like mine. You have shown all Hectors. Enter the city, clip your wives, your friends, tell them your feats, whilst they with joyful tears wash the congealment from your wounds, and kiss the honored gashes whole.
Enter Cleopatra.
Give me thy hand. To this great fairy I'll commend thy acts. Make her thanks bless thee. O thou day of the world, chain mine armed neck. Leap thou, attire and all, through proof of harness to my heart, and there ride on the pants triumphing.
Lord of lords, infinite, comest thou smiling from the world's great snare uncaught?
My nightingale, we have beat them to their beds. What girl, though gray, do something mingle with our younger brown, yet have we a brain that nourishes our nerves and can get goal for goal of youth. Behold this man, commend unto his lips thy favoring hand. Kiss it, my warrior.
SCARUS kisses her hand.
He hath fought today, as if a god in hate of mankind has destroyed in such a shape.
I'll give thee, friend, an armor all of gold if it was a king's.
He has well deserved it. Give me thy hand. Through Alexandria make a jolly march. Bear our hack targets like the men that owe them. At our great palace the capacity to camp this host. We all would sup together and drink corrosives to the next day's fate, which promises royal peril. Trumpeters, which brazen din blast you the city's ear, make mingle with our rattling tambourines, that heaven and earth may strike their sounds together, applauding our approach.
Exeunt. Scene 8. Octavius Caesar's camp, nighttime. Enter ENOBARBUS alone.
Be witness to me, O thou blessed moon, when men revolted shall upon record bear hateful memory. Poor ENOBARBUS did before thy face repent, O sovereign mistress of true melancholy. The poisonous stamp of night disponge upon me, that life, a very rebel to my will, may hang no longer on me. Throw my heart against the flint and hardness of my fault, which, being dried with grief, will break to powder and finish all foul thoughts. O Antony, nobler than my revolt is infamous. Forgive me in thine own particular, but let the world rank me in register of master lever and of future. O Antony, O Antony.
He dies. Enter a sentry.
I be not relieved within this hour. I must return to the court of guard. The night is shiny, and they say we shall embattle by the 2nd hour in the morn. And that is this. He sleeps. Awake, sir! Awake! He not sleeps, but swoons rather. For so bad a prayer as his was never yet for sleep. Speak to us! Hear you, sir? Death has struck him down.
Drums far off.
Hark, the drums demurely wakes the sleepers. Let us bear him to the court of guard. He is of note. Our hour is fully out.
Exit sentry carrying out ENOBARBUS. Scene 9. Between the two camps. Enter Antony and SCARUS with their army.
Their preparation is today by sea. We please them not by land.
Or both, my lord.
I would they fight in the fire or in the air. We fight there too. But this it is, our foot upon the hills adjoining to the city shall stay with us. Order for sea is given. They have put forth the haven, where their appointment we may best discover, and look on their endeavor.
Exeunt. Scene 10. Another part of the same. Enter Caesar and his army.
But being charged, we will be still by land, which, as I take it, we shall, for his best force is forth to man his galleys, to the vales, and hold our best advantage.
Exeunt. Scene 11. Another part of the same. Enter Antony alone.
All is lost. This foul Egyptian hath betrayed me. My fleet hath yielded to the foe, and yonder they cast their caps up and carouse together, like friends long lost. Triple-turned whore, 'tis thou hast sold me to this novice, and my heart makes only wars on thee. Bid them all fly, for when I am revenged upon my charm, I have done all. Bid them all fly. Begone, O sun, thy uprise shall I see no more. Fortune and Antony part here, even here, do we shake hands? All come to this? The hearts that spanieled me to heels, to whom I gave their wishes, do this candy melt their sweets on blossoming Caesar, and this pine is bark that overtop them all. Betrayed I am. Oh, this false soul of Egypt, this grave charm, whose eye becked forth my wars and called them home, whose bosom was my crownet, my chief end, like a right gypsy, hath at fast and loose beguiled me to the very heart of loss. What, Eros, Eros!
Enter Cleopatra.
Oh, thou spell, avaunt!
Why is that my lord enraged against his love?
Vanish, or I shall give thee thy deserving and blemished Caesar's triumph. Let him take thee and hoist thee up to the shouting plebeians. Follow his chariot like the greatest spot of all thy sex. Most monster-like be shown for poorest diminutives, for dolts, and let patient Octavia plow thy visage up with her prepared nails.
Exit Cleopatra.
'Tis well they art gone. It be well to live, but better 'twere thou fellest into my fury, for one death might have prevented many. Eros, oh, the shirt of Nessus is upon me. Teach me, Alcides, thou mine ancestor, thy rage. Let me lodge Lycus on the horns of the moon, and with those hands that grasp the heaviest club, subdue my worthiest self. The witch shall die. To the young Roman boy she hath sold me, and I fall upon this plot. She dies for it. Eris, ho!
Exit Antony. Scene 12, Alexandria, Cleopatra's palace. Enter Cleopatra and Charmian.
Help me, my woman. He's more mad than Telamon for his shield. Boar of Thessaly was never so embossed.
To the monument. There, lock yourself and send him word you are dead. The soul and body ride not more in parting than greatness going off.
Monument? Charmian, go tell him I have slain myself. Say that the last I spoke was Antony, and word it prithee piteously. Hence, bring me how he takes my death. To the monument.
Exeunt separately. Scene 13, the same. Another room. Enter Antony and Eros.
Eros, thou yet beholdest me?
Aye, noble lord.
Sometime we see a cloud that's dragonish, a vapor sometime like a bear or lion, a towered citadel, a pendant rock, a forked mountain or blue promontory, with trees upon it that nod unto the world and mock our eyes with air. Thou hast seen these signs. They are black Vespers pageants.
Aye, my lord.
That which is now a horse, even though with a thought the rack dislimbs and makes it indistinct as in water. Thy captain is even such a body. Here I am, Antony, yet cannot hold this visible shape, my knave. I made these wars for Egypt and the queen, whose heart I thought I had, for she had mine, which whilst it was mine, had annexed unto it 1,000,000 more now lost. She, Eros, has packed cards with Caesar, and false played my glory unto an enemy's triumph. Nay, weep not, gentle Eros. There is left us ourselves to end ourselves.
Enter Charmian.
O thy vile lady, she has robbed me of my sword.
No, Antony. My mistress loved thee, and her fortunes mingled with thine entirely.
Hence, saucy wench, peace. She hath betrayed me, and shall die the death.
Death of one person can be paid but once, and that she has discharged. What thou wouldst do is done unto thy hand. The last she spake was Antony, most noble Antony. Then in the midst of a tearing groan did break the name of Antony. It was divided between her heart and lips. She rendered life thy name, so buried in her.
Dead, then?
Dead.
Unarm, Eros. The dark day's task is done, and we must sleep. That thou departest hence safe, does pay thy labor richly. Go.
Exit
Off.
Charmian.
Pluck off.
Eros begins to remove Antony's armor.
The sevenfold shield of Ajax cannot keep the battery from my heart. Oh, cleave my sides. Heart, once be stronger than thy continent, crack thy frail case. Apace, Eros, apace. No more a soldier. Bruised pieces, go. You have been nobly born. From me a while.
Exit
I will overtake
Eros.
thee, Cleopatra, and weep for my pardon, so it must be. For now, all length is torture, since the torch is out. Lie down and strain no farther. Now all labor mars what it does. Yea, very force entangles itself with strain. Seal then, and all is done. Eros, I come, my queen. Eros, stay for me, where souls do couch on flowers. We'll hand in hand, and with our sprightly port, make the ghosts gaze. Dido and her Aeneas shall want troops, and all the haunt be ours. Come, Eros, Eros.
Re-enter
What
Eros.
would my lord?
I have lived in such dishonor that the gods detest my baseness. I that with my sword thwarted the world, and over green Neptune's back with ships made cities, condemn myself to lack the courage of a woman, less noble mind than she which by her death our Caesar tells, I am conqueror of myself. Thou art sworn, Eros, that when the exigent should come, which now is come indeed, when I should see behind me the inevitable prosecution of disgrace and honor, that on my command thou then wouldst kill me. Do it. The time is come. Thou strikest not me. 'Tis Caesar thou defeatest. Put color in my cheek.
The gods withhold me. Shall I do that which all the Parthian darts, though enemy, lost aim and could not?
Eros, Eros, wouldest thou be windowed in great Rome, and see thy master thus with pleached arms, bending down his corrigible neck, his face subdued to penetrative shame, whilst the wheeled seat of fortune, Caesar, drawn before him, branded his baseness that ensued?
I would not see it.
Come, then, for with a wound I must be cured. Draw that thy honest sword, which thou hast worn, most useful for thy country.
Sir, pardon me.
When I did make thee free, sworest thou not then to do this when I bade thee? Do it at once, or thy precedent services are all but accidents unpurposed. Draw, and come.
Turn from me then that noble countenance wherein the worship of the whole world lies.
Lo, thee!
He turns away.
My sword is drawn.
Then let it do at once the thing why thou hast drawn it.
My dear master, my captain, my emperor, let me say before I strike this bloody stroke, farewell.
'Tis said, man, and farewell. Now, Eros.
Why then, there.
He stabs himself.
Thus I do escape the sorrow of Antony's death.
He dies.
Thrice nobler than myself, thou teachest me. O valiant Eros, what I should and thou couldst not. My queen and Eros have by their brave instruction got upon me a nobleness in record, but I will be a bridegroom in my death, and run into it as to a lover's bed. Come then, and Eros, thy master dies thy scholar, to do thus I learned of thee.
He stabs himself.
How? How not dead? Not dead? The god! Oh, dispatch me. I have done my work ill, friends. Oh, make an end of what I have begun. Let him that loves me strike me dead.
Not I, nor anyone. Thy death and fortunes bid thy followers fly. This sword but shown to Caesar with his tidings shall enter me with him.
Enter Alexis.
Where's Antony?
There, Alex, there.
Lives he? Wilt thou not answer, man?
Exit DERCETUS.
Art that there, Alex? Draw thy sword, and give me sufficing strokes for death.
Most absolute lord, my mistress Cleopatra sent me to thee.
When did she send thee?
Now, my lord.
Where is she?
Locked in her monument. She had a prophesizing fear of what hath come to pass. For when she saw, which never shall be found, you did suspect she did dispose with Caesar, and that your rage would not be purged, she sent you word she was dead. But fearing since how it might work, hath sent me to proclaim the truth, and I come, I dread, too late.
Too late, good Alexis. Bid that welcome which comes to punish us, and we punish it, seeming to bear it lightly. Take me up. Bear me, good friend, where Cleopatra bides. 'Tis the last service I shall demand you, and have my thanks for all.
Exhumed, bearing Antony and the body of Eros. Scene 14, the same, a monument. Enter Cleopatra and her maids, CHARMIAN and EROS, aloft.
Charmian, I will never go from hence.
Comforted, dear madam.
No, I will not. All strange and terrible events are welcome, but comforts we despise. Our sighs of sorrow proportioned to our cause must be as great as that which makes it.
Enter Alexis, bearing Antony below.
How now, is he dead?
His death is upon him, but not dead.
Oh, son, burn the great sphere thou movest in, darkly stand the varying shore of the world. Oh, Antony, Antony! Antony, help Charmian, help Eros, help! Help, gods above! Let's draw him hither.
Peace. Not Caesar's valor hath overthrown Antony, but Antony's hath triumphed on himself.
So it should be that none but Antony should conquer Antony, but woe 'tis so.
I am dying. Egypt, dying. Only I here importune death a while, until of many thousand kisses the poor last I lay upon thy lips.
I dare not, dear my lord, pardon, I dare not, lest I be taken. Not the imperious show of the full fortune Caesar ever shall be broached with me. If knives, drugs, serpents have edge, sting, or operation, I am safe. Your wife Octavia with her modest eyes and still But come, Antony, help me, my women. We must draw thee up, assist, good friends.
They begin lifting him.
Oh, quick, or I am gone.
Oh, here's sport indeed. How heavy weighs thy lord. Our strength is all gone into heaviness that makes the weight. Had I great Juno's power, the strong-winged Mercury should fetch thee up and set thee by Jove's side. Yet come a little. Wishes were ever fools. Oh, come.
They heave Antony aloft to Cleopatra.
Welcome, welcome. Die when thou hast lived. Quicken with kissing. Had my lips that power, thus would wear them out.
She kisses him.
I am dying, Egypt, dying. Give me some wine and let me speak a little.
No, let me speak. Let me rail so high that the false huswife Fortune break her wheel, provoked by my offense.
One word, sweet queen. Of Caesar seek your honor with your safety. Oh,
They do not go together.
gentle, hear me. None about Caesar trust but Proculeius.
My resolution and my hands I'll trust, none about Caesar.
The miserable change now at my end, lament nor sorrow at, but please your thoughts in feeding them with those my former fortunes wherein I lived, the greatest prince of the world, the noblest, and do now not basely die, not cowardly put off my helmet to my countrymen, a Roman by a Roman, valiantly vanquished. Now, my spirit is going. I can no more.
Noblest of men won't die. Hast thou no care of me? Shall I abide in this dull world, which in thy absence is no better than a sty? See, my women, the crown of the earth doth melt. My lord,
Antony dies.
withered is the garland of the war. The soldiers pole and fallen. Young boys and girls are level now with men. The odds is gone, and there is nothing left remarkable beneath the visiting moon.
Quietness, lady.
Cleopatra swoons.
She's dead too, our sovereign.
Lady?
Madam,
Oh, madam, madam, madam!
royal Egypt empress.
Cleopatra stirs.
Peace, peace, Iris.
No more but even a woman, and commanded by such poor passion as the maid that milks and does the meanest shares. It were for me to throw my scepter at the injurious gods, and tell them that this world did equal theirs till they had stolen our jewel. All's but not. Patience is sottish, and impatience does become a dog that's mad. And is it sin to rush into the secret house of death, ere death dare come to us? How do you, women? What, good cheer? Why, how now, Charmian? My noble girls, ah, women, look, our lamp is spent, it's out. Good sirs, take heart. We'll bury him, and then what's brave, what's noble? Let's do it after the high Roman fashion and make death proud to take us. Come away. This case of that huge spirit now is cold. Women, come, we have no friend, but resolution and the briefest end.
Exeunt, bearing off Antony's body. Act 5, Scene 1, Alexandria. Octavius Caesar's camp. Enter Caesar with Agrippa, Maecenas, and Proculeius, his council of war.
Go to him, Maecenas, bid him yield. Being so frustrate, tell him he mocks the pause that he makes.
Caesar, I shall.
Exit Maecenas, enter DERCETUS with the sword of Antony.
Wherefore is that? And what art thou that darest appear thus to us?
I am called DERCETUS. Mark Antony I served who best was worthy, best to be served. Whilst he stood up and spoke, he was my master, and I wore my life to spend upon his haters. If thou please, take me to thee as I was to him. I'll be to Caesar. If thou pleasest not, I yield thee up my life.
What is it thou sayest?
I say, O Caesar, Antony is dead.
The breaking of so great a thing should make a greater crack. The round world should have shook lions into civil streets and citizens to their dens. The death of Antony is not a single doom. In the name lay a moiety of the world.
He is dead, Caesar. Not by a public minister of justice, nor by a hired knife, but that self-hand which rid his honor in acts it did, hath with the courage which the heart did lend it, spittled the heart. This is his sword. I robbed his wound of it. Behold, it stained with his most noble blood.
Look you sad, friends? The gods rebuke me, but it is tidings to wash the eyes of kings.
And strange it is that nature must compel us to lament our most persisted deeds.
Oh, Antony, I have followed thee to this, but we do lance diseases in our bodies. I must perforce have shown to thee such a declining day, or look on thine. We could not stall together in the whole world, but yet let me lament with tears as sovereign as the blood of hearts, that thou, my brother, my competitor, in top of all design, my mate in empire, friend and companion in the front of war, the arm of my own body, and the heart where mine his thoughts did kindle, that our stars unreconcilable should divide our equalness to this. Hear me, good friends.
Enter an Egyptian.
But I will tell you at some meeter season. Whence are you?
Egypt, the queen, my mistress, confined in all she has, her monument of thy intense desires instruction, that she preparedly may frame herself to the way she is forced to.
Bid her have good heart. She soon shall know of us, by some of ours, how honorable and how kindly we determine for her. For Caesar cannot live to be ungentle.
So the gods preserve thee.
Come hither, Proculaeus. Go and say we purpose her no shame. Give her what comforts the quality of her passion shall require, lest in her greatness by some mortal stroke she do defeat us, for her life in Rome would be eternal in our triumph. Go with your speediest, bring us what she says and how you find of her.
Caesar, I shall.
Exit Proculeius.
The rest of you, to my tent, where you shall see how hardly I was drawn into this war, how calm and gentle I proceeded still in all my writings. Go with me and see what I can show in this.
Exeunt. Scene 2. Alexandria, a room in the monument. Enter Cleopatra, Charmian, and Iris.
My desolation does begin to make a better life. 'Tis paltry to be Caesar. Not being Fortune, he's but Fortune's knave, a minister of her will. And it is great to do that thing that ends all other deeds, which shackles accidents and bolts up change, which sleeps and never palliates more than the dung, the beggar's nurse, and Caesar's.
Enter Proculeius.
Caesar sends greetings to the Queen of Egypt, and bids thee study on what fair demands thou meanest to have him grant thee.
What's thy name?
My name is Proculeius.
Antony did tell me of you, bade me trust you, but I do not greatly care to be deceived, that I have no use for trusting. If your master would have a queen his beggar, you must tell him that majesty to keep decorum, must no less beg than a kingdom, if he please to give me conquered Egypt for my son. He gives me so much of mine own as I will kneel to him with thanks.
Be of good cheer, you're fallen into a princely hand. Fear nothing. Make your full reference freely to my lord, who is so full of grace that it flows over on all that need. Let me report to him your sweet dependency, And you shall find a conqueror that will pray in aid for kindness, where he for grace is kneeled to.
Pray you tell him I am his fortune's vassal, and I send him the greatness he has got. I hourly learn a doctrine of obedience, and would gladly look him in the face.
This I'll report, dear lady. Have comfort, for I know your plight is pitied of him that caused it.
Soldiers enter and seize Cleopatra.
You see how easily she may be surprised. Guard her till Caesar come.
Royal Queen!
Oh, Cleopatra, thou art taken, queen.
Cleopatra draws a dagger and goes to stab herself.
Quick, quick, good hands!
Proculeius
Hold.
seizes the dagger.
Hold, worthy lady, hold, do not yourself such wrong, who are in this relieved, but not betrayed.
What of death, too, that rids our dogs of languish?
Cleopatra, do not abuse my master's bounty by the undoing of yourself. Let the world see his nobleness well acted, which your death will never let come forth. Temperance, lady.
Sir, I will eat no meat. I'll not drink, sir. If idle talk will once be necessary, I'll not sleep neither. This mortal house I'll ruin. Do Caesar what he can. No, sir, that I will not wait pinioned at your master's court, nor be the sober eye of dull Octavia. Shall they hoist me up and show me to the shouting varletry of censuring Rome? Rather a ditch in Egypt. Be gentle, grave unto me. Neither on Nilus's mud lay me stark naked, and let waterflies blow me unto abhorring. Rather make my country's high pyramids my gibbet, and hang me up in chains.
You do extend these thoughts of horror further than you shall find cause in Caesar.
Enter MENAS.
Proculeius, what thou hast done thy master Caesar knows, and he has sent for thee. For the queen, I'll take her to my guard.
Be gentle to her. To Caesar I will speak what you shall please if you'll employ me to him.
Say I would die.
Exit Proculeius and soldiers.
Most noble Empress, you have heard of me.
I cannot tell.
Assuredly you know me.
No matter, sir. What I have heard or known. You laugh when boys or women tell their dreams. Is that not your trick?
I understand not, madam.
I dreamt there was an Emperor Antony. Oh, such another sleep that I might see, but such another man.
If it might please you.
His face was as the heavens, and therein stuck a sun and moon, which kept their course and lighted the earth.
Most sovereign creature.
His legs bestride the ocean, his reared arm crested the world. His voice was propertied, as all the tuned spheres, and that to friends. When he meant to quail and shake the orb, he was as rattling thunder. For his bounty, there was no winter in it. The autumn 'twas that grew more by reaping. His delights were dolphin-like. They showed his back above the element that they lived in. In his livery walked crowns and crownets. Realms and islands were his plates dropped from his pocket.
Cleopatra.
Think you there was or might be such a man as I dreamt of?
Gentle madam, no.
You lie up to hearing of the gods. But if there be nor ever were one such and past the size of dreaming, nature wants stuff to be strange forms with fancy, yet to imagine an Antony were nature's peace against fancy, condemning shadows quite.
Hear me, good madam. Your loss is as yourself great, and you bear it as answering to the weight. Would I might never overtake pursued success, but I do feel by the rebounds of yours a grief that smites my very heart at root.
I thank you, sir. Know you what Caesar means to do with me?
I am loath to tell you what I would you knew, though he be honorable.
He'll lead me then, in triumph.
Madam, he will. I know it.
Flourish. Enter Caesar, Proculeius, MENAS, and others.
Which is the Queen of Egypt?
Cleopatra kneels.
Arise, you shall not kneel. I pray you, rise. Rise, Egypt.
Sir, the gods will have it thus. My master and my lord, I must obey.
She stands.
Take to you no hard thoughts. The record of what injuries you did us, though written in our flesh, we shall remember as things but done by chance.
Soul, sir, of the world, I cannot project mine own cause so well to make it clear. Do confess I have been laden with the like frailties which before have often shamed our sex.
Cleopatra, no, we will extenuate rather than enforce. If you apply yourself to our intents, which towards you are most gentle, you shall find a benefit in this change. But if you seek to lay on me a cruelty by taking Antony's course, you shall bereave yourself of my good purposes, and put your children to that destruction which I'll guard them from, if thereon you rely. I'll take my leave. You shall advise me in all for Cleopatra.
And may through all the world, 'tis yours, and we, your Suchians and your signs of conquest, shall hang in what place you please. Here, my good lord.
She holds out a paper.
This is the brief of money, plate, and jewels I am possessed of. 'Tis exactly valued. No petty things admitted, I swear you.
Caesar reads.
Madam, you have kept back more than enough to purchase what you have made known. Nay, blush not, Cleopatra. I approve your wisdom in the deed.
See, Caesar, well, behold how pomp is followed. Mine will now be yours, and should we shift estates, yours would be mine. Oh, Caesar, what a wounding shame is this, that thou chafing here to visit me, doing the honor of thy lordliness to one so meek. Say, good Caesar, that I some lady trifles have reserved, a moment toys, things of such dignity as we greet modern friends withal, and say, some nobler token I have kept apart, for Livia and Octavia to induce their mediation. Must I be unfolded with one that I have bred? The gods smites me beneath the fall I have.
Cleopatra, not what you have reserved, nor what acknowledged, put we in the role of conquest. Still be it yours. Bestow it at your pleasure, and believe Caesar's no merchant to make prize with you of things that merchants sold. Therefore be cheered. Make not your thoughts your prisons. No, dear Queen, for we intend to dispose you as yourself shall give us counsel. Feed and sleep. Our care and pity is so much upon you that we remain your friend. And so, adieu.
My master, my lord.
Not so. Adieu.
Flourish. Exit Caesar and his train.
He words me, girls, he words me that I should not be noble to myself. But hark thee, Charmian.
She whispers to Charmian.
Finish, good lady. The bright day is done, and we are for the dark.
Hie thee again. I've spoke already, and it is provided. Go put it to the haste. Madam, I will.
Re-enter MENAS.
Where is the queen?
Behold, sir.
Exit Charmian.
Xenius.
Madam, as thereto sworn by your command, I tell you this. Caesar through Syria intends his journey, and within 3 days you with your children will he send before. Make you best use of this.
Xenius, I shall remain your debtor.
Adieu, good queen. I must attend on Caesar.
Farewell, and thanks.
Exit MENAS.
Now, Iris, what thinkst thou? Thou an Egyptian puppet shall be shown in Rome as well as I. Mechanic slaves with greasy aprons, rules, and hammers shall uplift us to the view. In their thick breaths, rank of gross diet, shall we be enclouded and forced to drink their vapor.
The gods forbid.
Nay, 'tis most certain, Iris. Saucy lictors will catch at us like strumpets, and scald rhymers ballad us out to tune. The quick comedians exemplary will stage us and present our Alexandrian revels. Antony shall be brought drunken forth, and I shall see some squeaking Cleopatra boy, my greatness, the posture of a whore.
Oh, the good gods, I'll never see it, for I am sure my nails are stronger than mine eyes.
That's the way, to fool their preparation and to conquer their most absurd attempts.
Re-enter Charmian.
Now, Charmian, show me my woman like a queen. Go fetch my best attires. I'm again for Cydnus to meet Mark Antony. Sir Iris, go. Bring our crown and all.
Exit Iris. A noise within.
Wherefore this noise?
Enter a guardsman.
Here is a rural fellow that will not be denied your highness's presence. He brings you figs.
Let him come in.
Exit guardsman.
What poor an instrument may do a noble deed. He brings me liberty. My resolutions placed, and I have nothing of woman in me. Now from head to foot, I am marble constant. Now the fleeting moon, no planet is of mine.
Enter countryman with a basket.
Hast thou the pretty worm of Nihilus there that kills and pains not?
Truly I have him, but I would not be the party that should desire you to touch him, for his biting is immortal. Those that do die of it do seldom or never recover.
Rememberest thou any that have died on it?
Ah, very many, men and women too. I heard of one of them no longer than yesterday.
Get thee hence. Farewell.
He sets down the basket.
Farewell.
You must think this. Look you, that the worm will do this kind.
Aye, farewell.
Look you, the worm is not to be trusted, but in the keeping of wise people. For indeed there is no goodness in the worm.
Take thou no care, it shall be heeded.
Ah, very good. Give it nothing. I pray you, for it is not worth the feeding.
Will it eat me?
You must not think I am so simple. But I know the devil himself will not eat a woman. I know that a woman is a dish for the gods if the devil dress her not. But truly these same whoresome devils do the gods great harm in their women. For in every tent that they make, the devil mark 5.
Well, get thee gone. Farewell.
Yes, forsooth. I wish you joy of the worm.
Exit countryman. Enter Iris bearing Cleopatra's royal regalia.
Give me my robe, put on my crown. I have immortal longings in me. Now no more the juice of Egypt's grape shall moist this lip.
Charmian and Iris begin to dress her.
Yar, good Iris, quick. Methinks I hear Antony call. See him rouse himself to praise my noble act. I hear him mock the luck of Caesar, which the gods give men to excuse them their after wrath. Husband, I come. Now to that name my courage prove my title. I am fire and air. My other elements I give to baser life. So have you done? Come then, and take the last warmth of my lips. Farewell, kind Charmian. Iris, long farewell.
She kisses them. Iris falls and dies.
Have I the aspic on my lips? Doth fall? If thou in nature so gently part, the stroke of death is as a lover's pinch, which hurts and is desired. Dost thou lie still? If thus thou vanish, thou tell'st the world it is not worth leave taking.
Dissolve thick cloud and rain, that I may say the gods themselves do weep.
This proves me base. When she first met the curled Antony, He'll make demand of her and spend that kiss which is my heaven to have. Come, thy mortal wench.
She places an asp on her breast.
With thy sharp teeth this knot intrinsicate of life at once untie. Poor venomous fool, be angry and dispatch. Oh, could thou speak, that I might hear thee call great Caesar as unpoliced.
Oh, Eastern Star.
Peace, peace. Does I not see the baby at my breast that sucks the nurse asleep?
Oh, break! Oh, break!
As sweet as balm, as soft as air, as gentle. Oh, Antony, nay, I will take thee too.
She places an asp on her arm.
What should I stay?
She dies.
Wild world? So, fare thee well. Now boast thee, death. In thy possession lies, alas, unparalleled. Downy windows, close.
She closes Cleopatra's eyes.
In golden Phoebus, never be beheld of eyes again so royal. Crown's awry. I'll mend it, and then play.
Re-enter guardsmen.
Where's the queen?
Speak softly, and wake her not.
Caesar hath sent.
Too slow a messenger.
She takes out an asp.
Now come, apace, dispatch. I partly feel thee.
Approach! Oh, all's not well. Caesar's beguiled. MENAS, what? Oh, help, come forth, sir! Oh, what work is here, Charmian? Is this well done?
It is well done, and fitting for a princess descended of so many royal kings. Oh, soldier.
Charmian dies. Enter MENAS.
How goes it here?
All dead.
Caesar, thy thoughts to touch their effects in this. Thyself are coming to see the performed the dreaded act which thou so sought to hinder.
Enter Caesar and his train, marching.
Oh, sir, you are too sure an augurer that you did fear is done.
Bravest at the last. She leveled at our purposes and, being royal, took her own way. The manner of their deaths, I do not see them bleed.
Who was with them last?
A simple countryman that brought her figs. This his basket.
Poisoned then.
Here, on her breast, there is a vent of blood and something blown. The like is on her arm.
This is an aspix trail, and these fig leaves have slime upon them, such as the aspic leaves upon the caves of Nile.
Most probable that thus how she died. Take up her bed and bear her women from the monument. She shall be buried by her Antony. No grave upon the earth shall clip in it a pair so famous. High events as these strike those that make them, and their story is no less in pity than his glory which brought them to be lamented. Our army shall in solemn show attend this funeral, and then to Rome. Come, MENAS, see high order in this great solemnity.
Exeuns bearing the dead bodies. Nice.